Save today at Room to Room's President's Day sale. 55% off furniture and mattresses, 20% off accessories, and 24-month special financing. The time to act is now.
Room to Room Tupelo, where we know there's no place like your home.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Well, hello to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon. It has been a murky few days. We expect we'll finally start getting some legitimate rainfall out of these clouds over the next 24 hours or so. Thank you so much for joining us here in the Room to Room Weather Center on Mississippi Live Weather at 6. And while we have some shower chances in over the next couple of days, thankfully storms look to be pretty limited. Rainfall totals, just kind of looking at our strike model here, not a whole lot until maybe Saturday. And even then, as you can see, the heaviest rainfall amounts expected to be basically back toward the south and east of us. So a lot of us over the next few days, maybe quarter inch in Boonville, 1500s there in Iuka. We'll see on that looking at our future cast here in a second. But as you'll note, while rainfall is possible, we still unfortunately have drought building conditions. We'll look at the latest on that drought monitor coming up here in at our broadcast tomorrow. So warm for your Thursday continuing, and those rain chances are getting better. But as you saw, it's just not terribly impressive. That big drop in temperatures ahead, and that big drop in particular looking toward next week, we're going to look at the shift in the pattern that allows that and what temperatures could be like going beyond as well, coming up here in just a couple of minutes. But our forecast for the first 12 from 68 at 7 p.m. Notice the percentages there. We're kind of flat at around 20% coverage. Again, this is fairly light stuff, but we'll have some showers. 64 by 10, 63 by 1 o'clock in the morning, and 61 by 4 a.m. Someone kind of bottoming out in the low 60s or upper 50s by early tomorrow. Isn't that cute? Don't you like how our icon there, when I put mostly cloudy, it still has a little sun creeping out. Just haven't really had that last couple of days. And don't be shocked if we're underwhelmed by amount of sunshine again for tomorrow. In Avery right now, it is that cloud cover, 66. Those winds out of the south and east at around 8 miles per hour at this instant, looking back there toward the horizon. Again, appreciate the North Mississippi Storm Chasers for partnering with us on all these cameras. This one from the MDOT folks there. Again, cloudy, but fairly good visibility in Saltillo. 64 degrees in Saltillo, that temperature. But if we go up to Alcorn County, there close to the Rienzi area on the southern part of the county, we show up again with that murkiness, and we have had a few showers, but just not a lot of those showing up, at least in any meaningful way. Looking at Mama Justice Doppler radar, we show again those showers as well. Watch over this loop here over the last couple of hours. A little more green starting to show up in just the last little bit here. But again, not a lot of this is really probably accumulating, getting all the way to the surface. So we have mainly just cloud cover and maybe a drizzle on the windshield, about as much as any of us end up seeing as we go into and through this evening. So kind of the wider shot here, it's about as light as it goes on that perspective. And unfortunately, we've stayed locked in this cloud cover once again today. I don't know about you, but it's kind of that first stretch where we're really just cloudy, murky every day. I guess outside of post-ice storm, we had that as well. But trying to forget that. Maybe that's why I'm jumping right past that, mentally speaking. Wider shot here, we had a front move through today, but as we talked about last night, this one just did not have much in the way of colder air behind it. You kind of look at the perspective here. Yeah, front move through. We're about the same, a little warmer than yesterday at this point, so not a big drop in temperatures anywhere near us as a result. Let's go wider here. Our next front will have a little more cold air to work off of there, mainly again Intermountain West that it's looking at. That is timing out by your Friday. I think it's really the upper level system kicks through after that finally taps into some of this cold air. It's just kind of sitting up there. I mean, you go up there north of Billings, Montana, we're talking below zero temperatures, so for actual numbers. So there is cold air up there. It's just kind of waiting to get a little closer to us or kind of for it to slide more toward us. And we do expect heading toward next week, we will tap into that. It's going to be a lot colder because of that batch of cold air there. But for tonight, just mainly lighter variety showers closer to the Tennessee state line, where we're looking at that Tippah, Alcorn, Tishmingo, maybe Prentiss, the Union counties, possibly some of that over the next few hours here. But one thing you don't see, Look at all the gray. It doesn't really break up much. We show maybe just a little bit more breaking up here closer to the Tennessee state line early tomorrow morning. I think that's highly optimistic. Hopefully that's the case. But even if they get a few little spots that try to break up, I think there's just enough lift ahead of our front to probably kick out a little bit in the way of shower activity for much of the day tomorrow. So it's not a washout, but it's not a warm-up necessarily either. I'm showing, again, mid to upper 70s optimistic. That is assuming that that sun actually shows up in a few spots. Where it doesn't, it's probably low 70s. Where it does, middle, maybe upper 70s. So am I being optimistic? Absolutely. Hoping that maybe these southwest winds get breezy enough to pump those temperatures up. All of our projections, by the way, are up there 78, 79, near 80 degrees. I'm undercutting that by a couple. I just don't know if I'm undercutting by enough. And then into the evening, some showers and maybe a couple rogue thunderstorms possible by your Thursday evening. Coming up here in 60 seconds, we'll use our Futurecast to kind of show where those are most likely. We're also looking at the far extended forecast of just how cold the temperatures are. I'll eventually get there. But right after the break in 60 seconds here, we're going to use our exclusive storm finder looking at where it's most likely maybe we see some rumbles with this chance. An updated version of that, even from what you showed you at 5 o'clock, coming up here in 60 seconds as Mississippi Live Weather continues from the Room to Room Weather Center right after this.
Look at Wanda, ready to rock her big presentation. But first, lunch. Sweet Pepper's Deli. Delicious, celebratory, but is it quick? The Cobb salad. Tender oven roasted chicken, topped with cheese. Prepared, plated, and served? In 6 minutes? Is this for real? Well, of course. Well done, Wanda. Sweet Pepper's Deli. Yes, ma'am. Life is sweet.
I have been going to Tupelo Smiles my whole life. When I was a kid, I was unhappy about some uneven coloring on my teeth after getting my braces off, which at the time there really wasn't a fix. I was recently made aware of a solution that would totally fix it, which is exactly what we did. They not only heard my concerns, but they never stopped looking to solve my problem, and that's why I love Tupelo Smiles.
This portion of Mississippi Live Weather is presented by Little's Jewelers.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's Mississippi's Chief Meteorologist, Matt Lobhon.
Locked in the cloud cover on the west side of Starkville. You're watching Mississippi Live here at 6 p.m. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon. Our North Mississippi Storm Chasers camera there near the 8 to 10 area, kind of looking back toward the lights of the city. Sometimes when you get a little glow of that there, that's a sign of some rain falling, but not quite making it to the surface. Dew point coming in the mid-60s, which is where the temperature is right now in the Starkville area at this time. I got to show you something that actually resembles clear skies. It's not clear in Shelby at this point out in the Delta just north of Cleveland, but I can at least see some spots where I have some signs of clearing. So yes, we have officially confirmed the sun still exists, despite the fact that we just can't get it to show up around here. And I think it could be pesky trying to get it to make an appearance again for tomorrow. Outside in the Smithville area, bring it back here to Monroe County. Like a lot of us have seen, those clouds a lot thicker. 65 the current temperature in Smithville right now from on top of the water tower there in town. The drop in temperatures in a big way is the weather story. Look at this over the course of the next 7 days. We're looking at low temperatures. And I say drop, that's where we eventually go. But look at this. These are low temperatures. Our average low for this time of year, normal, should be about 38. We're going to be 60 for tomorrow. We're 55 today. 54 for Friday, as we look toward Friday morning, 49 for Saturday, 35 Sunday, 27 Monday. That's all right. A lot colder weather on the way next week, and we will look at that coming up here in a few minutes as to just how cold that really truly gets there. But as we look at Storm Finder, something you'll see only here on Mississippi Live, what the storms look like. There's a severe weather risk for locations out toward the Ohio Valley for tomorrow, up here closer to Illinois, locations that direction. We show this kind of looks like a hill or a mountain here. No mountains in that part of the country, or at least not that I'm aware of. I should double check my geography on that. Either way, none of significance there. And that is lightning being depicted there on our storm finder. So an idea of where it looks like or what it looks like when we have some thunderstorms and some stronger thunderstorms. But what you did not see there and what you will not see a whole lot of even for our area is the purple, where we start talking about high confidence. So while my storm finder will show a few thunderstorms out there, confidence on exact locations and coverage remains a bit of a question for us, I would say, the next couple of days. Let's bring it in here a little closer and let's track things. So you'll notice for your Friday, we're pre-dawn here. Again, not impossible to get a rumble, but we're not really showing many in the way of lightning strikes, right, on this. And we're not showing these showers becoming particularly heavy. They get a little stronger once they move out toward Chattanooga on, I guess that'd be the second front. If you had the first one today, that's our second front. And yet another one on the way as we look toward Friday night and Saturday. Now notice by that point, we start to see some purple starting to show up here. What this is a sign of is increasing storm chances. And while our storm finder itself using the explicit strike model does not depict very many thunderstorms at that point, you can see our confidence in seeing some thunderstorms increasing at that point. It's one of our most confident time periods, late Friday night and early Saturday, to possibly see something. Now, they don't show up particularly heavy at this point, but we do show at least a couple of showers and storms there, closer to, say, Columbus potentially, maybe Amory. We're 3 o'clock in the morning here, pre-dawn, early Saturday, with storms getting a little heavier as they roll into Alabama and away from us. So takeaway is this. Yeah, you can see, again, more lightning on that. Again, this is not what a high-level system would look like. I think that's one big takeaway here. We are not talking about a high-end severe weather threat by any stretch, but I think some shower and thunderstorm chances you can see becoming more likely as this storm system gets closer to the East Coast as opposed to us, and for our area here into the South Alabama and South Georgia. So we're watching some limited chances, but again, Storm Finder is not impressed. And I would say that's the way we would look at it as well. That does not mean we're not going to have some issues here. As far as your SEC baseball forecast is in play this weekend, looking toward that weekend series there, Carl Hogan Toyota, of course, our sponsor here, Ole Miss versus Missouri State there. 71 that first pitch there on Friday. Probably the best of the 3 days. The rain chance isn't zero for that day. And I think hopefully the showers are out of here prior to game time on Saturday. Mid-60s Saturday and low 50s there by Sunday. So a lot cooler for that Sunday wrap-up of that series there in Oxford. Our baseball forecast, again here, Mississippi State taking on Delaware. 75 on Friday there. And possibility, depending on the time there they go with the game, to have some showers around on Saturday. A little milder Saturday than some other spots. And then we're in the 50s as we look toward your Sunday there. Your IMPC school day forecast. For tomorrow, though, we are very mild in the morning. As we alluded to, that 62, way above our normal for this time of the year for low temperatures. We're 77 at drop-off. And rain chances, I think we'll have some early, middle of the day, and late as well. So very light stuff, but still a possibility to have a few showers around. As you can see that depicted here on Futurecast for tonight. What showers we have remain pretty limited in overall coverage, but I think we will have some. But again, not probably adding up to a whole lot in the rain gauge there. But we continue to maybe have a few rumbles actually with this south of the Lawrenceburg area by 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. But consistent showers, so don't be shocked. Again, the roadways will be damp tomorrow morning, and sometimes that means you need to build in a little extra time just to get from point A to point B, because the stopping distance is always a little bit longer there when the roads are wet. So 59 Water Valley, Oxford, 59 degrees in Bruce, as well as Eupora, 62 Greenwood, 62 Belzona, and will be 60 there for Tupelo and Amory for lows on your Thursday morning. Again, way above our normal for this time of the year. Scattered showers continue here, 9, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning on early Thursday, and will be, again, mostly cloudy skies. We're hoping to maybe see the clearing this indicates. Our Futurecast here was not so optimistic yesterday, but it's just a sign, again, we are locked into all this cloud cover for Thursday. If we can see any clearing, you saw how you had the little bubbles there where we bubble up a few extra showers. That was one of the factors, as well as the possibility of maybe getting a little bit warmer there if we see really any clearing. So we're hoping. This is, I'm too high on this. If we're honest, I need to probably take these down a little bit for tomorrow. And somewhere in the mid-70s, I think, is more reasonable. We're hopeful to get this warm. I just think that is maybe very optimistic is the kindest way we could put that. Most of us probably do not get quite that warm. And then as we go here into your Thursday night, a few showers along our front moving in. This would be front number 2, 1 coming today, 2 coming tomorrow, 3rd on Friday. And notice how this does have a little bit more oranges and reds showing up there from Corinth back toward Oxford, Water Valley for 10 p.m. tomorrow. So maybe some rumbles, but again, most of these are going to be well below severe limits, let's say that. And honestly, not expecting a whole lot of rumbles with this even as it moves through the area. This is our HRRR model we're looking at here. It is a little more aggressive than our strike model, which is interesting. A lot of times strike tends to be a little bit more aggressive. It's a thin line of showers. Again, I don't expect this to be heavy, but kind of rolling through, kind of a quick hit as this front moves in. And hopefully that stirs things up a little bit and makes it to where temperatures, well, not temperatures, but conditions dry out. We see a little bit of sunshine. I know I need to see it. I'm sure you probably do as well. Early Friday, though, as you can see, widespread cloud cover around, and obviously Thursday night, we're not going to see sunshine, but we're hoping on Fridays more of that shows up there. 54 for Friday morning in Tupelo, 59 Columbus and Macon. Again, this is the effect of those northwest winds bringing in that drier air. So that's how we can tell we're kind of mixing things up with upper 40s up here closer to the Tennessee state line. Futurecast, again, mainly dry here for first part of Friday, but we do have some of those showers just slightly south. The front that comes through kind of bends back here, as you can see, to the south of us, and so it will continue to stall out with most of the rain chances during the day Friday, just a little bit south of us, closer to that front. As moisture starts to try to rise up and at least aloft to make it a little north of that front, that'll increase kind of our coverage of showers here as we go into Friday, late afternoon to possibly evening. I think for most of us, again, this remains relatively light. As temperatures there go to about 70 in Boonville. We're looking at 73 degrees in Tupelo, 75 Amory, as well as Starkville for highs on Friday. 60s out there for Clarksdale, Tunica, South Haven. I feel pretty confident about these numbers for Friday. And that's a joke picking on me and every other meteorologist, by the way, because these clouds can be really tricky. And I think we've overshot the temperature last couple days. I think probably mid-70s tomorrow, best case scenario that we see. By Friday, though, hopefully that front will have kicked through, the first of those fronts, mix things out. We should actually see some sunshine, making our models typically a little bit more accurate by that point. And each of these days, we're easily above that 59 we should typically see for this time of the year. So as we head into your Friday evening, again, we have our Mississippi Live Game of the Week presented by Casey Lott. I've got to change. Give me a second here. I got to be honest. Usually I let Gabe take care of this for me, and I totally messed this up on here. So let me pull up Wheeler. Let's put Wheeler in there as my location. Gabe has been sick. And if you would like to, say a little prayer for him. He's got the flu. I mean, it's not too bad, but he's struggling a little bit with it. Hopefully we'll have him back tomorrow. But yeah, there we go. There's our forecast as I finally do my job and get it up to date there. We had the actual forecast, okay, showing again Friday night, some isolated showers out there, potentially around first tip time for locations in the northern part of the state. Not impossible, but again, pretty spotty as temperatures go through the 50s by the conclusion of that game there. So here are those showers we're talking about, trying to kind of pop up. If you end up over top of you, obviously some impacts, but obviously our game of the week there between Okolona and Wheeler's inside, so don't have any real issues that we should contend with there. Our strike model continues to show showers kind of moving in. We have that frontal boundary largely just stalled just slightly south. I pulled it off of here so it was a little easier to kind of see where our showers were kind of popping up and how heavy those were. Looking at the latest version here, not a lot of these super heavy. We're 1 a.m. early Saturday morning, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. Most of these obviously way below severe limits. A few that are a little heavier down there closer to Philadelphia, but even those are fairly small at that point. Notice how they do get a lot stronger back out into Alabama. So the expectation, wherever those end up popping up, I think is pretty solid, that we're going to have a few pop up, but they definitely strengthen as they move eastward and out of the area. We paint that front back on here. As that slides through, any chance for storms slides as well on out of here and out to the east, where maybe some rumbles again back there in the North Georgia as that system slides away. On the back side of this, and maybe it's not instantly obvious, and I'll go wider here to show it. You can kind of see right here that's a little area low pressure, kind of a loft, kind of a mid-level low there. As that kind of kicks toward us late Saturday, watch. And we start developing a few more showers around by, say, 6, 7 o'clock Saturday evening. So possibility wrapping around a little bit of that. But I think by Sunday, hopefully things all out of here and drying out. As we look at that 7-day forecast, we're about 30% on that rain coverage for your Friday with this late evening chances there. And obviously, I'm honestly probably a little bit low for tomorrow. Probably should be up around 30% for tomorrow as well. We're hopeful 77, might be a little warm there. Friday, I feel pretty good about that. Saturday as well on those temperatures. And then back into the 50s by Sunday, about 53. We're 47 Monday. 54 degrees by Tuesday. And yeah, look at some of these lows for Tuesday and Wednesday next week. Mid-20s. It's a lot colder air that's settling in by then. We are going to look in more detail here in about 60 seconds at that drop there in temperature, kind of the overall pattern shift, how far those temperatures go back down. Hopefully answer your questions as well. Again, join the conversation with us on Facebook, on YouTube. I know so many folks do that all the time. We appreciate y'all for doing that. I'll pull up that conversation here just for a second. Again, appreciate everyone for sending those in. And you can send us your information there if I get my directions right. I don't know if I'll ever get adjusted to being on that side. But anyway, Matt at msliveweather.com. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you here in 60 seconds.
Save today at Room to Room's President's Day sale. 55% off furniture and mattresses, 20% off accessories, and 24-month special financing. The time to act is now.
Room to Room Tupelo, where we know there's no place like your home.
Well, thank you so much for supporting us here on Mississippi Live Weather. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon. We're looking at jet stream and fuel, a combination that gives us an idea, again, where you can have the potential overlap between two of the most important parts to see active and severe weather. Fuel, of course, something to power thunderstorms, and then the jet stream, which has the winds aloft to help get them organized. If you have lift with a front or something like that, everything lines up, that's where those storm chances become the most significant. Typically, we're going to see our better storm chances when you have southwest flow. You have a big system kind of dive south and really kind of dig things out of the Gulf of Mexico. Well, we have kind of a little weak one that translates through on Friday. Not impressed by it. That's why our severe weather risk, a non-factor out of this system, but for the most part. But the instability in fuel down close to the coast, trying to work its way northward beneath this bit of the jet stream over top of us. I'm going to take this back to editor mode so we can delete and undelete that as we go through and look hour by hour at it. So as we go ahead here, I want to kind of pop things over to Friday. I'm going to delete off, or at least I'm going to take our wind speed here and make it a little bit more transparent. So give me a second so we can see through it a little better. There you go. I'll pop it right there. How about that? That shows you kind of the center part of the jet stream. We're looking kind of the overlap down there toward the coast where we get some spots where maybe we get a little bit more instability trying to go northward. But notice the majority of that stays to our south. That's one of the reasons why even in the Saturday and Sunday, any meaningful fuel doesn't get far enough north to produce storms. Now, you saw a little bit ago when we showed Storm Fighter how it had some thunderstorms down there, South Alabama, South Georgia. That's because you have the overlap of the strong winds aloft with this trough with some fuel. We just don't have fuel, so we don't have storms. And luckily, that's one of the things that kind of keeps that limited into your Sunday and into the first part of next week. We'll talk more about something else with this here in just a second, but I want to show you all the way through the extended there. It takes until probably, golly, not tomorrow, or not Friday, 2 days from now, Friday, but probably all the way until the week after that before we get a little more fuel down here, maybe a stronger little bit of jet stream energy aloft. We've been kind of watching this period, about a week and a half out for maybe some stronger thunderstorm potential there. Projections still not lined up on that, but that's probably the next chance if we were to see some thunderstorms that could be strong to severe. As I take this back here, we'll save that. We'll put that back in the play mode so I can kind of walk around it, point at things a little bit better with that. So as we do that there again, what I'm watching though is the cold air behind this big dip that we have back up to the north and west, and this change in direction there. See, you have the northwest winds there over the northwestern United States. Once we get past Saturday, we get a pretty decent dip in the jet stream. Everything kind of lines up, big storm system east, and this opens up northwest flow where winds aloft kind of coming from Calgary to Omaha to Wichita back up toward us. So that's what starts the temperatures really falling, as that shoves down more cold air, kind of opens up Canada from all that cold stuff we were looking at the beginning of the broadcast there, and kind of continues it coming in, not just through Sunday, but Monday, northwest flow. Tuesday, northwest flow, possibly even into Wednesday of next week before things kind of level out. That eventually shifts the pattern enough that maybe it opens it up to start getting milder. But as warm as we've been the last few days, got a while before we're talking about that. But as you can see, again, by not a couple days from now, Friday, but Friday after that, we start to get again more of a dip in the jet stream there. Perhaps this trough angle, we'll have to see. That could be one that eventually lines up to have some more storm chances associated with it. But let's talk temperatures here. As you can see, this zips all the way through. I need to put some pause points in that. So let's go ahead and do that as well. So as we kind of walk through this again, it is mild the next couple of days. That quick moving storm system for Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, I'm zipping past a bunch of stuff, but I want to zip here again to show Saturday. Again, all the active weather largely to the east of us. And then this is that cold air coming in on the backside of this system. By Monday morning, we're going to be down here somewhere into the 20s for morning low temperatures early Monday. So obviously a pretty significant drop on the way by then. As we head toward Monday afternoon, maybe only some 40s out there for highs. And then probably mid-20s out there, some spots for early Tuesday morning. With Tuesday's highs, probably only 40s to low 50s. And then Wednesday, again, some clouds, hopefully keeping things a little bit milder to start. Some 60s by late, and then that's when some of the rain and storm chances start coming back as we get things a lot more mild by late next week. And then probably set things up for more storm chances by maybe next Friday into Saturday. We'll see. This particular version of Futurecast still not impressed by what it's seeing. Still, again, more than a week out, but some of the indications there that we could have some additional, maybe heavier thunderstorms that kind of roll in as a part of that. So still looking a long ways out for that as well. Okay, let's look at some of your questions, and give me a moment here to kind of pop up your questions here behind the scenes. We appreciate everyone for supporting us here on Mississippi Live Weather. Someone really likes, Elena really likes the dark graphics. I appreciate that. Hi to Elisa there and Elena. Hopefully y'all having a good night. Marcellus, we'll see you at 10 p.m. I do want to see if I can go back and check and see what the long question was there. Learning about natural disasters, Kiara mentioning that and hazards. So we appreciate everyone for supporting us, trying to get us to maybe come there to talk to the kids at Houston Middle School. I think we might be able to figure that out. So you can always send us a message. My email's next to me right there. And hopefully we can kind of hook that up. So we appreciate that. We appreciate everyone for supporting us here on Mississippi Live Weather. And you can follow us all the different ways and also support Mama Justice and everybody that sponsors us here on Mississippi Live Weather. If you tell them, it certainly makes a difference. Hey, we like watching Matt and Gabe and Maggie and Caleb on Mississippi Live Weather. Let the sponsors know that it's important to you, and it'll be important to them to continue to support what we do here. You can always stay up to date with our forecast in the Mississippi Live Weather app for iOS devices as well as Android. It's free and available. Get that app, download it today. The unfortunate thing is we cannot talk back and forth on that chat in the app, but it's probably the easiest way to figure out, hey, when are Matt and the crew live? We have it right on there. Speaking of live, our next live broadcast will be coming up at 10 o'clock tonight. We'll have an updated look at Futurecast and those rain and storm chances. And listen, again, we're not expecting them to be overly heavy coming up in this weekend, but we'll be able to track the latest on where we expect them to be the heaviest in the Room to Room Weather Center by then. For all of us here at Mississippi Live Weather, we thank you for watching us, and we'll see you coming up tonight at 10.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. We knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy.